The water will kind of travel.
Tina Reyes has always taught science to young children.
This is the lower grade science room, and I teach pre-K through second grade science. Why would it be good water? When you're in this room, it's a children's room. You see their work. There are plants, there are fish. I get greeted by my turtles in the morning. The minute I walk in, they kind of run into the water. One of the things that scientists do is they look at the animals that live in the water.
These kids are learning about the environment and the importance of our drinking water systems. The lesson plan and the tank full of fish were supplied by Trout in Classrooms, a nonprofit that has over 200 New York City schools learning about our watershed.
In October, we go to a conference, and that's when we get our trout from a hatchery. We usually get about 100 little tiny eggs, and then in a few days they hatch. We put them in a little basket, and then you'll start seeing some of them swim around.
The fry are only part of a larger lesson on environment and water quality. The importance of the class is to educate kids about how trout are indicators of cleaner ecosystems and the relationship people have on their habitat.
A few weeks ago, we looked at the external anatomy of the trout.
Abe Marie has been teaching trout in the classroom for 2 years now.
We studied the healthy habitat and not a healthy habitat, what things affect those habitats, so they really realized that, hey, something as simple as recycling or using cleaners or detergent really ultimately affect quality of the water around us and eventually trickles down to a little guy such as a fish.
What did you like about raising the trout? Having the trout in the classroom really helps them to just not see a pet, more part of a bigger world, of the world that they live in.
It's a lot of work to raise fingerlings in a tank to a size where they might be able to survive in the wild.
We've kind of told the children that a lot of them probably are not going to survive. They will become food.
The last week of lessons revolve around predators that the fish might face.
In the wild, a trout lays about 500-600 eggs, and out of those eggs, only about a small fraction of them may make it to adulthood.
On the day of the field trip, the fish must be removed quickly, as a 5 to 10 degree change in water temperature will stress baby trout before they have a chance to acclimate into their new home. Ice in the buckets help keep the water temperatures consistent. And then in the spring, like clockwork, all over the city, the trout in their tanks are scooped up to go with the kids on a field trip to Ward Pound Ridge Reservation.
And I feel like this is an important moment for the trout.
Because we've been watching them grow and that they'd be able to go free and live like they should.
We did this in second grade, and I remember that it was really fun.
They now get to see what all this stuff actually does in real life and how it applies to, everyday real life situations. It's sort of a great end to what they started.
It is in the streams by the Cross River where the fingerlings will find a new home.
You guys are right now sitting in what is New York City's drinking water watershed. For a lot of students, this is actually their first time coming out of the city, and we just like to show them where their water comes from so they have a better connection to their resources. We are going to the stream, but I need you guys to wait right here just for a moment, okay? You're gonna get a trout in a cup like this. Look at his beautiful colors. Once they come to the realization that they're releasing their trout into the water supply system, I think they realize that it's important to conserve water, not just for the sake of people, but also because there's creatures living there. Ladies, cover the top, okay?
And I like those things called teachable moments, where you really, a kid might not be getting something and all of a sudden they get it, and then it's like, wow, they're amazed.
Mine was Mr. Fishy. He was the biggest one. Mine went so fast. I know. It was
You will get the disappointment when they're actually releasing it, and it's very quick. So they get in line, they'll get their fish, so they really have about a minute to kind of connect and then release that fish. And some of them get to actually follow them into the stream and see how they hide and kind of get acclimated not only to the water but to the environment.
Some of them named them, and then when they released them, they sang songs and waved goodbye.
A simple trout that looks this big can only survive in clean water. If the temperature increases, we're going to start losing trout.